Hey everybody, it's your average guy with opinions, John Corelli. Today is installment number 6, and I'm going to talk about Black Lives Matter movement because it's something that's very important to me, it's important to my kids, and it's important to many of the people I work with and work for. Um, let's get started. It's been a very divisive issue in this country. I think the majority seems to be for this movement. Um, but there are very strong minorities that are against this movement. I don't even want to address the all lives or blue lives matter because I think even the people that say those things understand the problem with saying that it doesn't make any sense in response to what is being requested of the movement that shouldn't even have to occur in the year 2020. We shouldn't have to address black people being shot in the back when they run away from a cop. Um, it shouldn't matter. Race shouldn't matter when it comes to this. It comes to law enforcement in our society, but it does. A big problem too is that people don't want to. White people don't want to acknowledge that the systemic racism in this society, it is a thing. It is real. It is proven. Okay. Uh, let's just look at the numbers. I don't have them in front of me, but you can go to any website worth its salt, any government website. CDC has numbers on this stuff. All kinds of numbers showing not only are black people, you know, check out, first of all, let's start with the laws. Let's look how the laws are written. The laws are written to favor the rich and the white, which is often synonymous. Not always, obviously, not all white people are rich. Saying that is ridiculous. But saying that we have a leg up by being white is not ridiculous. It's an absolute fact. Um, so let's start there with many of the three strikes and you're out type laws. Um, Drug laws were written specifically in New York City that penalize the drug dealers who are mainly people of color, but not the drug buyers who are not, I don't know if they're a majority white, but a lot of white people are buying their drugs back then, or at least in New York, from people of color. Why are they not equally? It's a supply and demand industry. Why are the people that are demanding the supply not equally um, held in the eyes of the law? Why shouldn't they be? It doesn't make any sense, except that it's a racist law. Um, Not only that, and then of course that leads, and let's speak to, yeah, are there more black criminals than white criminals per capita? Yeah, there are. Is there a reason for that? There is. Let's look. It goes all the way back to slavery. It goes back to Jim Crow laws, and it goes back to those having a toehold in society to this very day, where black kids aren't educated as well. Those many people that live in poor sections of the cities in this country are black. It's a type of segregation that has happened since day one. Okay, and so yes, you could make the argument, oh, there are more black criminals, therefore more black people get shot by police. You can make that argument, but you can also make the argument, and there's numbers that back this up too, that white people, when they commit a crime, they are treated better in the eyes of the law. It's happened recently. It happened with the Aurora Theater shooter right here in Colorado, right? The guy shot and killed, I believe, 12 people and wounded another 70, and then just waited outside the theater for the cops to show up. Just put his hands up, put his whatever automatic weapon he had to the side, and they arrested him without incident. That wouldn't happen to a black man. If you know in your heart that would not happen. Black guy over there, oh yeah, I just mowed down this theater. He would be shot dead. He would. And we know that, and that's a problem we've got to deal with. That our acknowledgement of that needs to happen before things can change. And once again, when I say our acknowledgement, I say the acknowledgement of white people. Okay, so we got laws that are unjust. We've got enforcement that is unjust. We also have a problem in the juries and judicial systems of this country. Uh, that's another proven fact. If a white person and a black person commit the same crime, and are found guilty of the same crime, the black person will do more time for it or serve a harsher penalty for it. That's proven. There's no, that's a number. Like I said, I'm not going to show you the numbers. I'm going to make you do some research on this episode of Average Guy Opinions. Look it up. It's a fact. It's true, and it's happened since the beginning of this country. Or maybe since 1865, when black people were actually considered people and not property. Think about it. I mean, the police forces weren't even integrated till like 1960s, I believe. You can check that out too. I think there may have been here and there once in a while, like out in the Wild West, you'd find a cop. Almost like a Blazing Saddles type of situation. I mean, really, it's life imitating art. There were once in a while there'd be a black sheriff of a tiny town. That would happen. Or there's a guy named Bass Reeves. If you ever want to really look into a badass black man, not a Buffalo Soldier, a real more like a bounty hunter. His name was Bass Reeves. Listen to this. Find some information about this guy. Go to Wikipedia about him. Fucking badass, man. I mean, just vicious. Not only how he apprehended criminals, I think he turned in his own son or something. It was nuts. But that's how he made his living, was by being a bounty hunter back in the late 1800s. So, having said that, this is where I pat myself on the back a little bit. I've been to 4 protests. I thank my kid Logan for that. Logan, I work at the same school that Logan goes to. Like I said, I've said it in past entries of this. It's 80% kids of color, and so he, being in that environment, said we got to do something. After George Floyd died, about a week in, we went to a protest on the steps of the Capitol. No police were there. After a week, they realized they were actually as much part of the problem as they were trying to solve any type of problem. So we went there. It was during the day. There were no cops. There were no problems. About a week later, I went to a major march downtown with a friend, and that went really well. The cops were actually handing out water at that one. And then a couple weeks later, with Elijah McClain, that one did not go well. That wasn't. If you check into the story of Elijah McClain, it's a tragedy that did not need to happen. This is also another part of the racist implementation or usage of laws and law enforcement when white people weaponize the police against a black kid for really no reason other than kind of acting goofy in the street. And that's all he was. He was on the special needs spectrum. I work with special needs kids, so it really hurts to see somebody that shouldn't have had to die at the young age of 23 die just because he was prancing around the street and he had a ski mask on. And they killed him. So we were at that. That was the third one I went to, was Elijah McClain. And the police started to mobilize during the day. It was ridiculous. And so the people that organized the thing, they were like some socialist organization, said, fine, they don't want us here, we're going to take the streets. And that's what we did. It was really a beautiful thing. We took the streets. We took over Alameda near Aurora Mall. We took over a chunk of 225 from Alameda to 6th Avenue heading north. And we made a big circle back to the municipal building of Aurora. And that was pretty cool. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And as a white person, you need to listen. That's what we need to do as white people. Listen. Don't mobilize against our black brothers and sisters in this country. And please just be a decent person. It doesn't take much more than that. The fourth one I went to was after the jury in Louisville found that the police that shot Breonna Taylor were not negligent in terms of her death. They were negligent in terms of shooting through a wall, apparently, but when a person gets shot, I guess that's not a big deal. It was fucked up. We went to that one. That was a pretty peaceful one. They were all all the ones I've been to were peaceful for the most part. The Elijah McClain one, I was there during the day, but at night they had a big strings concerto for him because he played the violin, and there were families there and children there, and the police just started fucking tear gassing people. No reason at all. So that's my take on this. I'm not saying being a policeman is an easy job. Never would claim that. But I also would say no one forced them to do that. That was their choice. We need to fix the system. that's my 10 minutes. Hope you all have a great day. See you tomorrow with another topic on Average Guy Opinions. Bye.